Hey, welcome to Picking Daisies, the podcast where we dive into all things messy, beautiful, and a little bit chaotic. I'm Mary Hendricks, your hot mess of a host, ready to walk with you through every laughable, cry-worthy, and grow-worthy moment. Every Tuesday, join me and an incredible lineup of fellow moms, women, and experts as they share their own stories of growth, resilience, and silver linings that they've uncovered. Together, we're building a village, a reminder that even in the thick of it, you are truly never alone. Because let's be real, we all have our mess. Everyone's got those moments. But here, we are finding the beauty in it, also the humor, and growing from whatever life and motherhood may bring our way. Welcome to Picking Daisies. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Daisies. I'm here with Madison. I'm going to let you pronounce your last name because I'm...
Barbosa.
Okay, that's right. Wait, do you have a dash in your name, though?
Okay, so I'm like freakishly attached to my last name. It's LeBlanc.
Okay.
I really like it.
Okay.
So I didn't hyphenate my name, but like on socials, I kept my maiden name. So I changed my name when I got married. I took my middle name away and I made my former last name my middle name. So now I'm Madison LeBlanc Barbosa.
Do you have any relation to Matt LeBlanc?
I literally used to tell people that was my uncle. I was a little white liar in elementary school, and I'd be like, yeah, you know Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
That was my uncle.
But now you have Barbosa, which I just think of Pirates of the Caribbean if people are nerds.
Everyone says that. Yeah, everyone says that. And it's like my husband's favorite thing. And he's obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean. Like that's his comfort. That's his comfort movies. He's watching them all the time.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. Okay. Well, Madison LeBlanc Barbosa, I have you here. I'm going to get in and I'll let you introduce yourself, but I want to like share background as to why I brought you on and how I thought of you and all that stuff. So I found your account through some other TikTok thing I think that was going on, and we'll touch on that. But I remember when I stumbled on your account, I loved it all because it was just right. That's it. It's my type of parenting. It is honest. It's unapologetic, which I enjoy. It's open-minded. I feel like you're very open-minded, and you're just, you see whatever it is you're seeing, it is. Like, it's just, there's no sugarcoating, no nothing, which is, that's basically all I am. So That is why I instantly hit the follow button and we went from there. But before we go into any further, you introduce yourself, tell me about you, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah. Madison. I am a mom of two. I have a brand new 3-year-old, Rose. She just turned 3, literally a few days ago. And that's been insane. And then Beckham is my 1-year-old, about to be 2. They're a year and 10 days apart. Almost Irish twins. I claim them as Irish-ish twins. I feel like I'm in that club because they are a year apart. Married to my husband for 4 years. Been together for 6. And part of my story that everybody knows is I'm originally from Texas. Met my husband on vacation. The vacation was actually supposed to be my bachelorette party, but it wasn't. It turned into a single party.
Okay.
Met my husband, found out he lived in Canada. We did long distance.
Wait, I remember this. I didn't know that was you.
That's me.
My God, I remember this story. So I found you through something else. And again, we'll get into that. But I remember that TikTok. That's crazy. Okay, wait. So let's backtrack. You were on a bachelorette party that was not, did you break up with your fiance at the time beforehand?
Yes. So it was I got dumped. It was supposed to be my bachelorette party, but my ex-fiance at the time called off the engagement. And at the time, that was the worst thing in the world, right? I was absolutely heartbroken, had no interest in going on my bachelorette party. I wanted nothing to do with anything like wedding related.
Yeah.
And my girls were like, no, bitch, we're going to Mexico. Like pick your ass up and cry it out and then let's go.
Okay.
And then we went. And then I met David.
Okay. And then and now I remember this TikTok. And then, and then you guys were long distance during COVID. Was that correct?
Yes, it was absolutely horrible. Yeah. So we were long distance for almost 2 years. And then COVID happened and the border closed. And there was no way for us to see each other. So David could come to the States. But when he returned to Canada, he would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And with work and bills, he was like, I can't do that. And that would be taking off 3 weeks, right? And
Crazy,
then no American was allowed in Canada, like at all. The only way you could get in is if you were immediate family. So we got to the point where we just said, screw it. He flew down, we eloped, and then I went back to Canada with him.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Okay. So I remember that story. So that's where your page kind of started. Is that what?
Yes.
Okay. And you had your kids at the time when you shared that story, right?
Yes. Like I was doing mom content and sharing mom stuff, but that was my first video that really
okay.
And that was the first video that showed like my storytelling, I feel like.
Yes. Yes. Because that's a big thing that I want to point here too is like, that's another thing. Like there's multiple mom accounts, let's be honest, but it's the way Madison, and that's what attracts me too. Like I'm envious. Like I watch your content trying to get an idea down as to how you think about the subjects. And because I try and do that, I don't work like that. Like I don't know. I can't come up with lists. I can't come up with like I really have to sit and pre-plan if I'm going to do like, yeah, I'm not off like, well, I do. I have success in like other areas, but it's just, I'm not as, you have your own thing. That's exactly what makes everyone different. But I'm envious of it. And Madison tells a great story, but also you're very captivating and you're very organized and all of that. But again, like I've said, Madison's also very honest. And that's how I found you, which I'll get into. And
maybe
it
too
was
honest.
No, it wasn't. No, because that's the thing. The people that got butthurt on it were the people that have no idea.
Yeah, those people can literally kiss my ass. Is what they can do. So.
I was on Madison's side from day one. So what I saw, and this is going to be from my point of view, is that I saw a video of there was an African American gentleman who I had seen on my FYP, and that's where you saw my comment, and then I think that's how we connected.
Yes, I don't know his name actually. I know his username. His username is Ebony something, but I don't know his actual name.
Yeah, he's great. But he basically was coming in defense of you because I tried finding the original video. Did you take it down? Did you pause it?
I didn't. I never took it down. I absolutely refused. I was getting bullied so fucking hard, but I was
then maybe I did. I must have found it then because if I watched it, it probably wasn't even that big of a deal. Like in passing, like watching it where it's not standing out to me. It wasn't like a video that you're going to go and find on Madison page that's like highlighted as being like dogs, which is what we're getting into. Yeah. So, and I'm actually glad because this actually lines up very well. I just recently shared a post about like dogs and stuff like that with motherhood. But again, that's not what we're making this post about. I
saw that post. That post was really sweet and I felt like an asshole.
No, but yours is why though. But that's why we all feel like assholes. So that's the thing is like, that's why we shared it because what you had said was very honest. So anyway, going in, this gentleman had come to the defense of Madison. And I then got into the conversation, but essentially Madison had shared, I'm going to paraphrase based off of what I know, is that she had basically said that she can't wait essentially for the dogs to die because it's too much. It's like way too much. Like this is so overstimulating. And she didn't mean it being like, I wish harm on them or whatever, but it's like it's a natural thing that when it happens, I'm not necessarily going to be like devastated per se. Yeah. But you might, which we'll get into.
I probably
you never know.
I probably
But you might because right now what you're feeling, and we'll get into that. But anyway, I agreed and people went nuts in being that they totally misunderstood what you were saying. And
the dog moms.
The dog moms.
The dog moms and the dog dads, that's where it just went like crazy. They just
try having hamster people after you. If you ever had hamster people after you.
Don't fucking oh God.
They came after me because I shared like me cleaning. I bought my daughter a hamster for fun. They're like, what do you envision when you get a hamster? Like a cage, like a typical.
Yeah, I had a hamster and my dad killed it because I wasn't taking care of it.
So there you go. So it's everyone has a horrible hamster story. That's a theory of mine. And then also I'm pretty sure that hamsters skip a generation because since you had your horrible hamster experience, you'll never do it. But your kids are probably going to be like, my mom never let me do this. And then they're going to get it.
Oh my God. Yes.
Was my experience because my mom, who's actually upstairs with my kids now, she fell off of a bed when she was a kid. And I guess her friend was letting the hamster out and she fell on top of the hamster and squished it. So she never let us get them because she was like, I can't. So I let my daughter get one and I posted up a video of me cleaning the cage saying like, don't get this thing. Like if you are at all, like I'm from parent to parent, this is your sign. If it's coming across your FYP, do not get the fucking hamster. I know it's like a motherhood rite of passage if you never had one, like essentially telling you what I would have told myself. And people were so pissed at the size of this cage. And they're like, he needs a bigger enclosure and blah, blah,
fuck
blah.
right off.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to shove it to him because actually my daughter wanted this big ass thing anyway. So I was like, I'm going to get it. It's $100. I was like, it's big ass enclosure. And I was like, actually, you know what? Hey, maybe they're right. I'll take their word. They say it's not going to be as stinky. I won't have to clean it as much and blah, blah, blah. It smells like shit after a day. It's so big. And it's so big that I now can't really clean it without actually like, I have to like shovel.
Get in there.
Out.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
mean, at the end of the day, it's a rodent.
It's a goddamn rodent. I know. Well, and I do it because I'm an animal person. Like, and I know you're an animal person. No one's like the people that own pets. Majority of the time are animal people, and that when most people, if you're not an asshole, care about their animals. But there are some people that take it a little too far, and a lot of people who are not parents also will never understand how when your dog or when you have a baby, that dog that may have started off as your first baby is now just a dog. It's now just a pet.
Yep.
Not everything. Like it doesn't, I mean, trust me, I love my pets. And that's why I posted that video that I did the other day where I said like,
video. Yeah.
But I'm getting out of that phase where I'm not in, like you just said, your daughter's 3 and you have a 1-year-old. I have a 7, 5 and a 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old. So I'm in a different era where it's louder and it's chaotic and they're fighting like fucking crazy, but I love it. It's like the true childhood years. It's true childhood. But because of that, I'm getting more of a breather. I'm getting more of a reprieve where I can actually like see my dogs as like a comfort and like as these sweet things. But
you're like, welcome back to the family, guys. Thanks for kind of taking a back seat.
But at the same time, it's still a dog where where I even say that to my kids, where I'm like, you know, my son and we have a 1-year-old dog and she's young and she still acts like a puppy-ish. And my son is 5 and a boy and likes to headbutt everything and he'll do it to her. And I always tell her, I'm like, dude, it's a dog. Like I love her. And I think she's a great dog with my kids and I trust my dogs with my kids. But at the end of the day, it's a dog. And I'm like,
at the end of the day, it's a dog. It's an animal.
I don't want my kids to go climb on it because it's an animal. Like I'm trying to teach my kids to not go up to random dogs when we're on a walk because they just immediately want to. And I'm like, we have to like just separate this right now.
Oh God, that's Beckham. Every time he sees a dog, he wants to go right up to it. And I get so anxious. My cousin was actually bit in the face by her pet dog.
Oh God.
So like, and you see these videos on TikTok and on Instagram of people that are like just spreading awareness, but it's like my dog had never snapped ever. Like ever, ever, ever. And then boom, something happened and my kid got bit or I got bit. And it's like, the end of the day, you have to call a spade a spade. A dog is a dog. You can love them. And
we had to rehome a dog back before we got our 1-year-old one, but like back before my son was born. So 5 years ago, we had a second dog at the time. And he really, when I was pregnant, really started turning on our first dog, who was like she's like a sausage. She just sits there and lets anything happen to her. But he really started attacking her and got to a point where he attacked her and it was like a $2,000 vet bill. But my oldest at the time was like 2 almost. Yeah, no, not even. She was 21 months when they were born, but she was close to it when it all unfolded, when they got into the scuffle. And we ended up rehoming the dog. We had to rehome him and thank God she didn't get hurt or anything, but I had called us, like it had to happen quite a bit and it was getting worse and I couldn't take it. And I knew it wasn't as good, a fun situation for anyone. And so we ended up rehoming, but I called a shelter and they're like, if it gets to a point where the dog bites someone, then we can't rehome them. Like that's a liability. So essentially we would have to like euthanize the dog.
Put the dog down. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like an impossible situation. But again, like I rehomed the dog because it is a pet and I care about it. But a lot of people online would probably be like, oh God.
That's what people kept saying. Rehome your dogs, rehome your dogs, rehome your dogs. And it's like, if I would have come online and said, I'm a mom of 2 and I need to rehome my dogs, I still would have been crucified by the dog people. Like they still would have been like, oh God, you're replacing your dog with your children. Those are part of your family. How dare you rehome them? And it's like, you can't fucking win with the dog parents, because they just, and I'm obviously like
Yeah.
speaking stereotypically. I know not every single dog parent is like that, but from what I saw online, um, the dog parents were absolutely just horrified with me that I, in the hierarchy of a home, put my children before my dog.
Well, and that's how I found the video of the Ebony. Yeah, I don't know his handle, but I know when he was talking, he was like, have we gotten to such a point where we hate children that much that we view them lesser than a dog? He was like, we are choosing dogs and pets over
human
our kids,
life,
over the safety of our kids, over any of that. And he goes
wild.
through all of it. But again, yours was never from what I remember, it was never a safety concern. It was never any of that. You were just saying, like, life is crazy right now. And I get that. Like, life is so, and that's where I want to spin this conversation, is the early motherhood. It's like, it's so much that you're like, you're not going to be mad when that one thing that is just that added, it doesn't need to be there at the end of the day.
Yes.
A pet doesn't need to be there, but
No.
it's there, and
It's
you're gonna take care of it like any good person will. But you're right now thinking, when they're gone, I'm not gonna be like beside myself.
There will be
life,
be a sense of relief.
Yeah, because it's one less responsibility.
Right. And that's what I said. I said, I'm ready when they are.
Yeah.
I never said like, I want them to die or I hope they die. I literally said, I'm ready when they are. And I feel like as a mom, as a dog parent, if you can't recognize that there's going to be a lightened load when your pets go to Rainbow Bridge, then like, what level of care are you giving your animals? To me, that was my, like, I really do a lot for my animals. I do a lot for them. So that's why I'm so stressed. It's because I'm giving them high level attention. You know what I mean? So it's like, God, they just took it and ran with it. And it is, at the end of the day, it is just something that it's not a necessity. I don't know.
And it just really spun, like, the entire thing, like, it just spun, it could spin so many conversations, but it's just like this lack of empathy, of understanding. And also, it's like the same conversation of like, you should have anticipated what you were stepping into. So that way you're not feeling burdened by your dogs. And you made the choice. And how dare you? And this whole thing with like,
you committed to them. It's like, I know that. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I am committed to them. And it's not like I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think any dog parent knows that the early years of motherhood are just fucking hard. Like, they're just hard. And I've wanted to be a mom for my entire life. Like, when I was 8 years old, I was thinking about becoming a mom.
Oh, same.
Always wanted to be a mom. I was never scared to be a mom. Like, even as a first-time mom, I just had a sense of confidence about it. I was a nanny for almost 4 years. I never had that, like, that self-doubt about becoming a mom. But my God, you can have all the confidence in the world and it's still going to smack you in the face. And you're going to be like,
my God.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's not like a turn. I think that was my biggest thing, is like, I am it's forever. I'm not just, it's forever. And I know, obviously we know that, but it really does, like, especially when you get into it, like you said, I grew up babysitting. I think our entire generation, they don't do that anymore, by the way.
No,
like,
they
girls don't babysit anymore. Like, I can't find a babysitter that's like a high school student anymore. Like, they're all involved, but that's a separate conversation. But we all did. And I think not everyone, but I think for me, it primed me. And thank God I like babysat for a family of 4, because it was so chaotic too. But I got to go home. And I didn't have the weight of everything else. I just had to take care of them during that time. So I was used to like the chaos for short snippets from an outsider perspective. And then when you're an insider and you know that this is your forever, but not even just like the chaos, it's like the fear. I think that's the thing that gets me. Sometimes it's like, I'm forever going to be worried about these kids. And it's like, I'll never be able to go to sleep. And like, I asked my mom that. I'm like, well, do you go to bed and like calmly go to bed? Like, yeah, like, I feel like I would be in, like, when my kids aren't home with me anymore, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that won't be the case. I don't know.
I don't know. this is another like video that I posted that got taken the wrong way. So like I live very far away from my family now, and we only really rely on FaceTime and phone calls. But even then, like my mom is a busy woman. I'm a busy mom, like in the trenches. We connect maybe 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes once a week. Connecting with my dad is even less than that.
Same.
And I don't know, like it's weird because I'm content with that. Like I love my parents dearly. I love them, but that's just what we're used to. So it doesn't feel like I'm missing out on anything. It doesn't feel like I'm missing some connection, but that's not what I want with my kids I want to talk to them every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
And I want them to want to talk to me every day. I have friends that are like, oh, I have to call my mom every day. I have to call my mom. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want.
Yeah. I know. I want like a good balance, because on one end, it's like you want a child that's like secure enough to like not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like, don't forget about me, please. I'm your mother. I birthed you. And like, don't leave me ever. But also
literally ever.
Go away. That's where I'm at.
When I left, my dad told me, he said, the hardest thing about like being your dad is letting you live the life that you want, not the life that I imagined for you. Because they never imagined I was going to move 1,500 miles away, right?
Oh, yeah.
God, my kids are never going to Mexico. They're never going, ever.
Yeah.
They are never going abroad. They are never going to meet someone that's going to take them away from me.
Yeah.
But thinking about that from a parent's perspective, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I did that to my parents. Like, I would be devastated, but that's so true. Like, you envision this, how your life is going to look, which includes your kids growing up, and you envision how that's all going to look, and that might not happen. And that part is fucking scary.
Wait, what part? Why did people give you shit over talking about your?
Oh, because they said that I need to call my mom more, and I'm not. Calling me ungrateful.
Did you wake the mother-in-laws?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You
those
should
are
be
another
calling,
ones you got to be careful.
It's just kind of like
the grandmothers of the world. There's like grandma TikTok side of it that are like super sensitive grandmas that are like
it. Literally, it's like I find, generationally speaking, like boomers, I kind of fuck with them. Like they're really not that bad. Like I just feel like they're so old that they just don't really offend me. But like Gen X, like my mom's generation, like elder 50 to like 60, like young 60. Oh, they will come for your throat. Those are the ones.
And my mom's like right there. My mom is boomer, but she's like just before the next generation. So she's a little bit of both. So, and my mom's great, but like my mom definitely is getting older where she's way more forward, way more blunt.
Yeah. And you kind of just roll with it.
Yeah. Or like, for example, like she was in my kitchen the other day and she was telling my daughter, who has bangs, and she cut them like 2 months ago. It was great. Like she had already had them and she wanted them trimmed up, even though I had already trimmed them and cut them the day before picture day. So it was great. But now they're finally growing out. My mom was in the kitchen and she's like, you should grow your bangs out. You would look so much prettier with them. And she's not meaning it to be such a dick, but I'm like, it's such a grandmother. It's such a grandmother thing to do, where and that's why I have to be there. And my mom's great, but I was just like, Mom, she'll do whatever she wants with her hair. Stop it.
Yeah.
And I just cut it
regardless. Yeah.
No. And my mom is like, thank God, like she doesn't care. Like she just says it and it's like, oh, it was a comment. She doesn't think it was like positive. I'm not trying to make more of it. It's just at this point, I'm like, I know that's just the way you are. It's like my grandpa when my grandpa was just unfiltered completely. I can't wait to get to that level of unbothered. But
oh God, yeah,
I just don't want to do it to moms. I just don't want to do it to
same, because we've been here. That's the thing about like the millennial moms. I feel like we're like paving the way for an even better era of moms to come through.
That's my hope.
When I think about our kids becoming moms, if they want to become moms, they're gonna fucking knock it out of the park, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
Well, it's the fact
We're
that you
like,
even just said that, which is what I always say is if they want to become moms. I feel
if it,
like
yeah,
that
like
right
we
there.
didn't even have that option. Like that was never on the table. It was like, when you
When I
become
become
a
a mom.
mom, blah, blah, blah. When you,
Yeah.
which is fine. I wanted that, but I often wonder, like, if the narrative was different, would I have had a different outlook? Would I have started a family later in life? Not that I want to. I'm very content and happy with my life, but I just feel like maybe things would have played out differently. Like, I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what I always wonder because I feel like I always wanted to be a mom, but my view, are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you technically a stay-at-home mom?
I
Okay.
mean, yes, content has become like a
I
job,
know. That's
but
why I say that. That's because that's how I am. I'm a stay-at-home mom,
yeah,
but now I'm making income from this. So it's like,
yeah,
it's hard because it's not the same. And I tried to stay like as transparent about that. I'm like, it's not
yes,
the
it's
same as it
not.
was.
It's not the same. It's not, this is 100% work. And it's not like hard work,
No,
but it's
it's,
time consuming work.
yeah, it's time consuming. And it's just like, ugh, sometimes where it just like, I don't
Yes.
want to show up here, like,
I
and do this.
know that part is
But
so, well, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
we're,
yeah. No, it's
we're going
fine.
off on
It's
a
more
tangent,
like
but
I go off on tangents all the time. I'm trying to rein myself in. I have ADD, so I just like immediately talk on everything.
yeah,
But I also have mom brain, and now I'm forgetting what I was going to talk about. What was I going to? Oh, now I know. Being a stay-at-home mom, I feel like I grew up. I was definitely in that 90s. Are we about the same age? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, I'm a little bit older. I'm 34. So you're still there, but like you probably saw the end of it. I don't know where you grew up, but like stay-at-home moms were very popular where I grew up and very like it was more of the norm and it was starting to switch where you're starting to see more of the moms
Like
and
working
that were
moms. Yeah.
working and yeah, having more friends that would have to call their mom at the office. And I always remember that like have to wait for them and stuff like that. I remember that, but I feel like because stay-at-home motherhood was painted as like the norm, that's all I ever strived for. Like that's all I ever wanted. I was like,
Yeah.
but it was never, and I also never felt like I got the true view of stay-at-home motherhood and what it actually entails because I thought it was easy. Like I literally just thought it was the easiest fucking thing. So why would I
Same.
not want to just stay home
Same.
with my kids? Are you kidding? And
Yeah.
so I feel like I kind of limited myself, like with what I pursued. And like, even since I was a kid, like I always just remember going into a job and being like, can I work this and also be a mom and be able to
Literally.
stay at home?
Yep. I had
And
a conversation with my dad. I changed my major like 5 times in
yeah,
college. And
yeah,
he was like, you got to pick something. Like I had a semester where I dropped all my classes. I was like, I don't want to do
yeah,
this. And he was
yeah.
like, you got to pick something. I need you to like focus. What do you want to do? And I said, I really just want to be a stay-at-home mom. And he was like,
I know. Yeah.
I don't think you should put all your eggs in that basket, Madison. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Well, and that's what I did when I went to like a liberal arts and it all turned out like I'm doing this and you're doing this and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And we figure it out and I kind of, you live and you learn type of thing. But I think for my daughters and going forward with like the new era of motherhood and stuff, it's just, I want like my daughter even, she's like, I want to be a mom. And I was like, good. I was like, you could do other stuff too. Like, I just want
Yeah.
her to like know that there is
No.
other
Yeah.
stuff to pursue as well if she wants. But I think that's what makes the difference. And then just the reality of what it's like is where I think it's refreshing. Do you get a lot of shit for just the honesty? Do you struggle with the honesty portion? Have you ever struggled with that? Because you are pretty, like, you're pretty unfiltered. They're good.
Yeah,
You're pretty good.
I'm a pretty open book. I've always done really well at like handling the negative feedback. I just kind of honestly let it roll off my back. The only time it
Yeah.
ever got to me, it was the death threats. That was a little bit. I was like, okay,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to take a breather off of being online because that's just like too much.
It's ridiculous.
That's
yeah.
insane. And like death threats to my kids. So that's why
I
I
know.
stopped showing them online and stuff because it's just like, no. But I've always here one thing that I did silently struggle with was when I got pregnant with Beckham, I felt like I had to show everyone, including my husband. I felt like because he was so excited and I was not excited. I got pregnant unexpectedly. I didn't want to be pregnant with a second born like that quickly.
Yep.
And when I found out I was pregnant, like I wasn't happy. I was very overwhelmed, very upset. I was like, this is not the plan. I found out when I was already almost 13 weeks. So for me personally, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm having a baby. I am pro-choice. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Do what you want with your body. But for me personally, I was like, okay, well, I'm at that point, I'm having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like everyone knew how much I loved being a mom.
Yep.
And I had to kind of show people and put on this facade that I was so happy and excited to be pregnant and grateful to be pregnant. And I was truthfully none of those things. I did not want another baby.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in my voice. Like, I still struggle with that guilt.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever going to go away.
Nah, yeah, probably not, because I struggle with guilt. Like, and mine's not the same. Mine was with my second born. It was just a different experience. And I think I don't remember any of it. Like, if I don't have video or any of it, I do not remember a single
It's literally like
thing.
Gone. It's gone.
And if
it's
I don't,
so
I remember what I've seen in my camera roll. I don't have any of my own thoughts, essentially.
Crazy.
But with my first, perfect. I remember every single fucking thing. With my third, even, I still remember pretty much every single thing. It was with my second that I completely blocked out. And it was for a long time. Like, very long time. And even now, like, because my son is his personality is very spicy. And it's been a doozy, but now we're just getting to a place of, like, he's 5, and we're now just getting to a place where I actually can, like, vibe with him a little bit more. And we're, like, actually kind of on the same wavelength, because for this entire time, it's just been like, everything. If I say red, he says blue. Like, it's just everything is constant fight.
Yeah.
And now he's finally getting to, like, a personality a little bit, and we can have a conversation. And he doesn't still care about most of shit that I tell him, but
that's Beckham as well too. Boys are
they're not. Yeah, there's something.
Boys are nuts. But that is
hard.
Something that I held close to my heart. I didn't really talk about until I got into content, and I started, like, kind of peeling back layers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be really vulnerable, and I'm going to talk about this. And then I did, and the feedback was great. Like, so many women transitioning from 1 to 2 have a really, really, really hard time. And nobody talks about it. Like, everyone talks about being scared, but nobody talks about, like, the kind of guilt that you feel. You're thinking, like, am I taking away the spotlight from number 1?
Mm-hmm.
And how am I going to balance having to? And, like, even when Beckham was born, the one thing I remember is when he was born, I literally was just like, yay.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't cry. I was happy. Like, I'm not a monster. But with Rose, I can remember, like, her birth in every single detail.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember just being overwhelmed with emotion. And with Beckham, I was like, cool, we got a baby.
Because honestly, though, because, like, that's how I feel. And so I have 3. Are you done? Do you think you'll have any more?
So our plan is to have one more biologically, and then we want to adopt one day.
Amazing.
That's so eventually that means 1 on each knee, which is insane.
That's fine. You could do it. You'll be fine. You'll do good.
I want a big family.
When you get to 3, and I always tell this, I just had a conversation with a mom I met, and funny enough, she followed me on Instagram, and I was at a party, and she came up and she's like, I just have to say. And I was like, thank you. Like,
I love when people do that.
I love doing it too. It's always fun. And people always feel bad. And I'm like, no, please do. Because also, like, I just need to know how much everyone knows about me when I'm around. But that, or I'm always like, what video have you seen? Because I got
literally, I'm like, oh,
you should see the one, like, I just posted up today.
Really?
You should see. Oh, yeah. I did. Have you seen the one I did with shaving cream all over me? For an everything shower. Have you? I started, like, that trend. People have, like, created a trend of it now, but I did the Home Alone, you know, when Uncle Frank is singing in the shower.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to watch it.
I had my husband do it with me last night.
I think it was before we connected. Here we go off on a tangent, but this is just, I have to tell you as, like, one of your fans. I used one of your audios. And,
which
like,
one
of my the one where you say, what word do you use
instead of fuck?
In place of fuck in front of your kids?
Dude, that's not my audio.
Oh, it's not?
No, I lip sync it so well that people have no idea for some reason. And I think the voice just fits my face.
The voice fits. It literally sounds like you.
Yeah, like because a lot of people and I'm like, it's not my audio, and I was like, I had to like make sure. There's a few that I've like because I can lip sync is like my talent. You have a talent for story singing. Like I like lip syncing. I think it's very fun.
I'm terrible at it.
I'm trying to get
doing it, but God, I'm so bad at it.
Claudia Ravioli. Do you follow her?
Yes,
I love her. I'm trying. I want her to come on here. I messaged her. I'm like, I really want her to come on here because I just think she would be great as like a single,
oh my God,
no kid perspective. But she like is just great. But
she's so fucking fun.
I did the lip syncing thing. It was ridiculous. But what else? What was I going to say before we got into that conversation?
I literally forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, this is what happens when moms are together. I don't know. I've started off stories like that.
Wait,
I said,
to somebody
this is like Mad Libs. You and I are, that's what I was going to say. Yes. Okay. So I was talking to this woman, and newer mom. So I want to say her baby, I'm going to guess, was only maybe like 3 or 4 months old. It was tiny. And then she had a daughter who I'm going to guess was just about 2, if not had just recently turned 2. So very similar dynamic to what I had at 21 months apart. And obviously you had it even closer. But she was there and like, running around and we were talking and something about like, because you have my third born who is literally like rabid. Like I'm surprised she doesn't foam at the mouth most of the time. It looks like she is. She is just a typical third born. You will find that one day. It's third borns and it's not in a scare. It's just you laugh like the entire time. You're like, what in the hell is going on here?
It's happening.
There's something else. Yes. Third borns are just their own thing. But I had said to her, I was like, almost everyone needs a mom of 3+ in their life because with one, you take everything personally and you take everything as a slide against yourself, as a doubt with yourself.
Yes.
Second, you then are now questioning everything because you had the second. So everything it's still personal, but now it's guilt. That now you're wondering if everything that is happening, every hard moment that you're having, every tantrum, every outburst, every anything coming from your first or your second, you're always going to wonder if it's because you had too many. And when you have 3, you're going to realize they're all just fucking different. They're all just this way. That's all it is. There's nothing. You did nothing wrong. You literally are going to, if anything, it's literally just, you know what? It's the one thing I will say that moms of 1 or 2 do wrong. No one's doing anything wrong. Is that we stress way too much. And I did. And I believe wholeheartedly that the stress over what we are stressing about is what creates the stressful situation that we're actually stressed about. So it's like the stress is what creates it. But having a third, you kind of are just like, you still have your boundaries. You just pick your battles. Like you really are getting very good at knowing what's important, what you're going to let go of, what you can handle. Like you just have so much more reassurance. Like you're still a cluster F. Like I am a cluster F of all sorts, but I have reassurance that I'm doing this like as best as I can.
You're doing your best.
What I got.
I have a theory that like moms of 2 give a little bit less fucks than moms of 1, and then moms of 3 give even less.
Every kid you have.
And like every kid, you just kind of like, you get to a point where you kind of just surrender to the chaos. And I think whenever I find a first time mom with that mentality, I'm like, you're fucking cool and you're a unicorn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I had that a little bit, but I think I was more about like the appearance of things. And like
I was very much like that too.
Yeah. I like needed everything to look a certain way and I needed
the picture perfect.
Yes. I tried it. I tried it all on Instagram. That's what I started my page of doing, of like trying to do the picture perfect. And I was like, I can't fucking do this. And that's how I grew. I was like the same thing. I was like, I am just not doing this bullshit anymore.
I literally like, I applaud people, especially moms that can vlog. Cause I'm like, if I were to vlog, if I were to show my house right now, I mean, I do sometimes. I do sometimes. Yeah.
Make it your challenge because that's what I try and do. I try and showcase. I do it like I do both. And I like that. That's the whole point of like this podcast and stuff is like, I want people to see the good and the bad. So like the whole point of this is like growing through what you go through. So like you went through really, I think back on like you got broken up with your fiance and you probably thought that was the end of the world. And then you met your husband.
Oh yeah.
And so
I was literally ready to like,
jump off
casually get myself hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how can I end up in the hospital so that he will visit me and he'll see me like in a cast and he'll be like, never mind, I love you.
Yeah, see, and now, do you ever envision possibly getting hurt and having a hospital visit so that way your kids don't bother you? So
Yeah, I do.
full,
I do.
yeah,
I do.
that's great.
Yeah, that would actually be, that would be nice.
I know. It would be nice for a day, and then I think
I
I'd be over it.
prefer like a spa.
I don't want that. Yeah, I don't even want that. I told my husband, I was like, I just want you to take the kids and go out of the house. Like, I want to stay here. Like, I like my house. I want to like be able to sit in my comfort area, and you guys just
like just have a robe on with my favorite snacks and like watch the shows that I want to watch in sweet peace. And if the dogs could leave too, that would be great.
There you go. How dare you? How dare you?
I'm literally shocked that they haven't barked once. And I'm going to knock on wood because watch, they're going to fucking lose their minds.
No, that's fine. Okay. Well, we'll wrap up. I'm going to start doing this. It's actually a new thing I'm trying to do. I'm going to ask rapid fire. Not rapid fire. Rapid fire.
I just said rapid fire. I started sweating.
This or that. This or that.
Okay.
Controversial parenting topics.
Ooh.
Ready? If you're game. Marijuana as a mom.
Yes.
Yay or nay?
Yes.
Okay. I saw your video. You tried a seltzer the other day. I saw that.
Do you know, me and my husband just bought 4 more at the store literally on Sunday. He was like, you want to drink those again? That has become my like favorite thing.
Aren't they great? They're so good.
I love it.
I am all pro gardening mom. I actually my mom's here and I just told her, thank God, it's legal in New Jersey. You're in Canada still. It's legal in Canada, right?
It's legal. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just put in an order for the dispensary so I could go right. Because I can't bring kids in. I don't think you could bring kids there. I don't know how it works. It's not like a liquor store.
That would be a sight to see. That would be a sight. I
have seen it once. I've seen it once, but it was a mom and a dad, and it was like a busier, nicer dispensary where they literally walked in, but they had a medicinal office. And I think they were getting their medicinal at the time. And so I don't know if it was like, I don't know, but I'm like, I just feel like it would be frowned down upon. Like,
it for sure would. I feel like a baby and a stroller would be fine.
Yeah, but still, I just feel like the look of it wouldn't be as like...
The look of it's not great. It's like taking your kid to a bar. But
I've done that though. But I've done that. Have you brought your baby to a bar? Have you ever?
I haven't.
That's one I have, only because, and people have said that my sister graduated right after I had my firstborn. So I think my firstborn was only like 4 months old. So there's a picture of me sitting in like a college bar breastfeeding. I was like, because we wanted to go and have fun, but I was like, I'm bringing the baby.
Yeah, you're not going to miss out.
No,
that's what I mean. A baby. Like when they're a baby, like who really gives a shit? I mean, who gives a shit in general? But like,
yeah, if they're not bothering you, who cares?
Yeah, it's just a little potato.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but marijuana is great. I love marijuana. Everyone here that doesn't know that already, just know that because that's my preferred. Alcohol makes me feel like shit. That's why
I don't like alcohol. I could never have another sip of liquor in my life. Like I don't really like wine.
Yeah.
I will say when I'm like in Mexico on vacation, I do like my mojitos.
Of course. Yeah, those are delish.
Yeah. But I still definitely prefer the THC seltzers. Like they're just better. They're literally better. And I like that I can wake up and not feel like total shit dick.
I know.
Yeah.
They can make you better, people. That's why I'm pro every normalization of it and responsible usage.
Yes.
Going into that wine mom culture, relatable or problematic? That's hard.
I know. That's hard. I get it. My mom is a wine connoisseur. So is my granny. So is my grandma. So are my aunts. So is everyone.
But were they wine moms? Were they wine where they were drinking? Okay. All right. So, because that's the difference. Like, there's people that like wine, but if you're a wine mom, it's more of like, I need this in order to survive the children. I need it. Kids, 5 o'clock, kids are, okay.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Mother's problematic, I think.
Yeah, it can be.
I get it, though. I get it. Yeah. I would never pass judgment, but I think it's just kind of like an unhealthy crutch. Like maybe just find a crutch that's not as like on the scale of on the scale of what we're doing like to our bodies,
Marijuana.
let's lean towards what's grown from the earth, right?
Yeah, let's do that instead. Seriously. I get it. Well, that's the thing. It's like I've been there. Like, and I've during the pandemic, I was totally, I mean, look at this. I have to replace this. It's an old sign of mine, but it's me holding a wine glass. Like I really have kind of cut back. Like I drink wine still, but it's no more than like a glass or whatever. Cause I'm like, I don't feel good and it, whatever.
Yeah.
But if
It gives
it
me
becomes
such a bad
something that
headache.
you're real, and it gives me anxiety. Like for me, it gives me such anxiety. But all right, Santa, pure magic or big lie?
Okay,
You don't have to explain, but you could just say your son. Or
God, it's so hard. These are hard. This or that.
I know.
Magic, but I think we need to be careful about giving. My take on Santa is letting Santa bring like fun little gifts, but I think big gifts need to come from mom and dad, because I think that presents a problem like at school and stuff. You know, a kid comes to school and says, "Oh, I got a new swing set from Santa," and Johnny got a hot toy or Hot Wheels toy. So I don't know. From like a big heart perspective, Santa is magic, but like scale it in a little bit.
If you use the right way. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. This is from a recent viral debate. Birthday candles. Can your others, like, can they also blow out the candles if your toddler is freaking out because it's someone's birthday and they also want a chance to blow out the candles? Is that bad?
If my 1-year-old or my 2-year-old, if he was having a fucking tantrum, he's screaming his brains off, I would let him blow out the fucking candle.
Exactly.
And I would say, it's not your birthday. Okay, it's not your birthday, but here you go.
The birthday person gets to do it first, and then they go after. That's what I do every time. I'm like, go. It's literally for kids to blow out a candle.
That was insane.
It was nuts. I don't understand.
It was she got crucified for that, and it's like, can we all just be realistic? Come on, your kid's fucking flailing on the ground. You're telling me you're not going to let them blow out a candle?
Yeah, no. I pick my battles, people. That's what people don't understand. No one understands that. That's
the key. That's the key.
And what battle I pick may be different than your battle. So,
yes, very true.
You know, red dye 40, avoid or in moderation.
Dude, I mean, I would love to be one of those moms that avoids it, but we don't.
Yeah, same. Do you notice a difference?
No, I've never really tried to not eat it.
The only time I thought I noticed a difference, but also they had a Slurpee. But that's the thing. It's like they're not eating anything. It was a red Slurpee and they were fucking insane.
No,
but also it was a Slurpee.
Slurpees are actually insane. Rose had one at the zoo last summer and I was like, never again.
No, it's way too much on their brains. I don't know what it does, but it made them nuts.
It's got to be the dye. She had a blue one, but I'm sure there's some sort of dye in there and all the sugar.
I'm sure.
God.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
No. Gentle parenting all the way or not for me? I know your answer on this one, actually.
Yeah, I'm a gentle parent. I'm a relatable gentle parent. I think it's the hardest thing I've ever fucking done. But I believe in it wholeheartedly.
But what's that mean for you? Because gentle parenting is different for everyone. So what's gentle parenting mean for you? What if your son really misbehaves? Do you yell? Have you ever yelled?
Yes, I yell. Yes. I lose my shit all the time. And
spanking?
I apologize. No spanking.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah, I don't spank. I don't do any type of physical punishment. I don't even swat hands. I don't. Yeah. My husband has flicked sometimes, Beckham keeps touching the fucking Christmas tree. I didn't even want to put up a Christmas tree, but I'm impulsive. And I decided, okay, we're going to get a fucking tree. Yeah. And he keeps tugging on it.
Yeah.
And so we've tried redirecting several times, but my husband has way less patience than me, which is so annoying because I'm at home with them all day. But anyways,
that's my husband too. Doesn't it drive you nuts?
Yes. It's like, you don't get to lose your cool after 15 minutes.
That's what I say. I'm like, what are you why are you? I'm like, you're not with them. I was like, I'm giving you full permission to be fun dad right now because I'm the one that wants to put these on and ignore you all. Like, go have fun, but you're not pulling this whole thing. I'm the same way. I'm so glad that I'm not the only one that's. I haven't tackled it husband stuff. I don't like do it because I don't want to like my husband's a great guy and great
Same.
dad,
And they will freaking
it will
come for
yeah. So I'm like, I don't touch it because like this will be as far as we can go with that one. But I'm like, it's just it drives me nuts.
It's
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's the mom versus dad thing, default parent versus not default parent. But even if he flicks him, I get like, don't fucking do that. And he's like, oh God, sorry. Yeah, I'm okay. So actively working on it. But as far as like spanking and hitting,
no.
Not on board with that. I think it's a lazy parenting.
I think that it is, as someone who, and I've openly said I've done it before, I did it when I was in a really bad fucking place. Like, that's my biggest thing. So, like, when it comes out, like that mom rage thing, like, have you ever experienced mom rage? But it's like,
oh my God,
when you're really, really in a bad place and you really just hit your, like, you don't even know and you're so horrified with yourself. That is like one thing that I like was absolutely horrified on. Where I was like, absolutely. But then I knew it was like, something's wrong. Like, you need to fucking address something. Like, so if you do it once, like, I'm not condoning anyone doing it, but like every parent, like, especially like our generation where it was kind of normal. Like, I think that's like the conversation that makes it really hard is like where we kind of grew up with it being a normal thing to do and have it 100%. Done to us and whatever, that it's very hard to break. And so most parents may not admit to it, but most will do it if that is what they kind of grew up with, and they might not like it and no one talks about it because then we're afraid of like the repercussions. And I'm like, we're not condoning it. Like, we're just saying, like, take a second, like, go sit with that for a second and go figure out what's underneath.
Because it shouldn't feel right.
No.
And people say, I was spanked as a child and I turned out fine. And it's like that, but that's what's not fine. The thought process of thinking that hitting a child is okay. That's the part that's not fine. I started a series like on my TikTok, relatable gentle parenting. And the first, I don't know if it was the first or second video, but I literally threw a toy at Rose's head because she hit Beckham with it and I just fucking reacted. Because it's like, especially when you have two and they're hurting each other, it's so hard. And I threw away that toy because it was literally giving me nightmares. But I, as soon as I did it and I saw her face, I was like, oh, I fucked up. And she was just like, why did you do that? So I get it. I've been there too. And I think that if you can't, everybody's been there. Everybody's been there.
And once you are, like, just regardless of whether you throw the toy or spank your kid or flick your kid or whatever you did,
or whatever
you did, if you think that you are not sitting with it and you're horrified with it, just like thank it. Like, that was I know it sounds cheesy, but I kind of thank it because I'm like, that's a wake up call. Like, that, thank you for waking me up. But also, you're human. Like, I think we all just have to give ourselves a little bit of like a grace period of knowing that like we're human and these kids are fucking hard. Like, it is not supposed to be easy.
It's hard to regulate your emotions for multiple people. It's a lot. It's hard.
Well, especially when you have noises and hormones and like
oh my God, the TV. The TV being on and loud is like my kryptonite. Like, it makes me see red. I cannot.
Have you done tablets yet? Have you done tablets?
My kids have tablets. I try, like, I'll let Rose use it during quiet time. Like, we're kind of transitioning out of naps, but they go cuckoo with tablets. They go cuckoo, and I heavily rely on screen time. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a screen-free mom. Like, absolutely not.
No. Devil's rectangles. That's what I call them. The devil's rectangles. I was on the Tamron Hall show. They brought me on Tamron Hall show to talk about that. But, it's going to air in like next week, maybe.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Yeah, but devil's rectangles, because I'm like, I give it to them, but it brings out the devil. Like, it's just
literally
they're
like,
demon.
I will give it to you to leave me the fuck alone, but I know that I'm going to regret it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you may also regret losing your absolute shit. So again, you got to pick your battle, pick your heart, and those are the things that you learn as you
100%
keep doing it. You keep doing
and
it,
like,
every single day.
For real, it's about to be 2025. Who doesn't have a smart screen device somewhere in their life? Like, come on, be so for real. Like, I think
parents don't. I think parents get all butthurt about the talk of screen time too, like, because people are really like, they don't want to hear about the positives or negatives. Like no one wants to talk about it. And I think it's because people don't want to take a look at themselves, because I think a lot of adults, we have to take a look and see what our phones are doing to us, and no one wants to have that conversation. And I'm like,
no one does. No one wants to admit that you're addicted to your phone.
No, because if I am on this thing too much, my brain literally cannot, like, do you ever feel like that? Because we're on it so much, but I can tell that, like, I'm scattered. I'm so scattered.
No, that part about content was not, I was not expecting that. Like the constant, like, pull to the phone and just feeling like you are on your phone 24/7. It is like
on your phone 24/7, but you also feel like you get sucked into a world. Like it literally feels like you dipped your head in. I'm such a nerd. I'm thinking about Harry Potter. You know, when he dips his, I don't know if you're a Harry Potter person, but when he dips his head into that thing, I'm not that big of a nerd, but I'm a movie person, but I always think of movie scenes. But it's all I think about is like with my phone, it literally is like and sometimes when I'm off my phone for so long, you look around, you're like, this shit doesn't really matter. Like,
no,
like the conversation, everyone getting mad at you, of people getting mad at you, whether you're talking about your dogs or whatever, like no one cares. Like in the real world, no one cares.
No one actually cares. Yeah. No. Or like if I put my phone down and David doesn't put his phone down, I instantly get like triggered. Or if I notice that the kids are like trying to get his attention and he's like on his phone and like saying, you know, talking to them, but not actively, I get so mad. And then I will catch myself doing it the next day. And I'm like, I do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. We all do. We're all guilty.
We literally all do.
Oh, God. Well, see, that's why I wanted you to be on, because everyone's probably listening and being like, thank God someone else is adding to it.
Thank God we're normal. Fuck these dogs. Thank God for phones, but also screw the phones. Thank God for marijuana.
Yeah, we covered a lot here, people. Okay.
We did.
And that's why I enjoy Madison so much. That's why I wanted you to come on. So tell everyone where they can find you. And I'll link, of course, everything for her. So.
I'm now on Instagram too, which is exciting. I was too scared to be on Instagram.
Why?
People, I don't know, because like people from high school follow me on Instagram, and TikTok felt like this alternate universe. Like I felt like I was incognito, which I'm not incognito because I have a following now, so I'm not incognito, but it felt that way. And Instagram like really terrified me, but I am growing on Instagram too. So TikTok is Madison _Barbosa, and then Instagram is Madison LeBlanc.
Yes.
_Barbosa.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for listening, everyone. Say bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. It's nice to chat with y'all.
I know. It's so fun.
It is fun. I love talking. So.
All right, Mama, that is a wrap on today's episode of Picking Daisies. I hope today's chat left you feeling seen, understood, and maybe even gave you a good laugh along the way. As we all know, motherhood isn't easy, life isn't easy, but it's moments like these where we can connect and share our stories that really help make that load feel a lot lighter. So if you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean the world to me if you could take a moment to leave a rating and review. Your feedback not only will help this show grow, but also it will make sure it reaches other moms who might need that same dose of honesty, humor, and heart. And don't forget, if something in today's episode resonated with you, share it with a friend or hop on over to Instagram or wherever you connect on social media and keep the conversation going. I love hearing your stories and being a part of this journey with you. Thank you for being here and for showing up for yourself, and then of course sharing that space with me. So until next time, remember, we all grow through what we go through. You've got this, Mama. I'll see you next week.